Welcome back to the Facade Files with Ace Hawkinson. I'm your host, Ace Hawkinson. On today's episode, we'll be discussing the S.S.C.A.N Cult Incident. In 2015, a group of scientists began to appear throughout the city of Waynebrook, Indiana. The self-proclaimed independent research group moved into a large facility just outside the city. The group, known as the Scanner Systems Collection Analysis Network, or S.S.C.A.N, caught the attention of the general public, but was considered to be harmless.
My name is John Raymond. I worked for the FBI for 17 years. I was the special agent in charge of the Indianapolis field office when the Waynebrook incident occurred. Earlier that year, local police began receiving calls about folks wearing lab coats and face coverings. They were wandering around the city and appeared to be scanning various places with their strange devices. At some point, the Waynebrook Mall became their primary focus, where several of their final appearances took place. Little was known about the research group. We deemed it necessary to look into the suspicious behavior and whatever research they were conducting. Special Agent Lisa Waters was dispatched to the area as an undercover civilian with the goal of being recruited by the group. She was hired as an administrative trainee with limited facility access. Agent Waters reported discussions of a, quote, significant breakthrough, but the details were vague. The group went quiet for a short time, but roughly 4 weeks after their last appearance, they returned. On the morning of Friday, June 5th, S.S.C.A.N arrived at the Waynebrook Mall with multiple box trucks full of electrical and computer equipment and at least 50 armed members. They offloaded their trucks and entered the mall at 4 separate locations, one on each side of the building. They moved quickly through the mall, rounding up the confused patrons, employees, and security guards as they went. Within minutes, they had the entire mall secured, with each access point locked and guarded. They immediately began setting up their equipment throughout the building. Police units did not arrive to the scene immediately, as they believed the initial reports were some sort of prank. But as the calls continued coming in from various sources, the police quickly realized that this was not a joke. I was heading to my office when I received the call. Multiple units arrived and surrounded the mall from the outside. Additional units were later sent from neighboring counties to assist. Within hours, police, SWAT, and the FBI were on standby together in the parking lot. As negotiations began, the S.S.C.A.N cult continued setting up their strange equipment inside. They had roughly 65 hostages being held in a large area towards the center of the building. As the night went on, security cameras captured glimpses of the odd behavior of the group throughout the mall. As midnight approached, the negotiators' efforts were successful. S.S.C.A.N agreed to release a number of hostages. They then communicated to us that they would release more hostages if we could get them AA batteries, of all things. Our lead negotiator, Special Agent Paul Veroni, brought them the batteries. Once again, S.S.C.A.N released dozens of hostages, with only a few remaining inside. After the exchange, communications with our negotiators were cut off, and S.S.C.A.N went quiet. We grew anxious as more time passed. We knew S.S.C.A.N was constructing some sort of explosive device, and they still had an estimated 10 hostages. The SWAT teams were on standby, prepared to go into the building at any moment. At around 3:45 a.m., there was a large explosion inside the building. As a result, the power temporarily went out in the mall and the surrounding area. After the blast, the SWAT teams entered through various access points and began clearing the building. Once the building was cleared, the SWAT teams were left baffled. There was no one there. SSCAN and the hostages were gone. Only their equipment remained. We were all scratching our heads at the disappearance and the sheer volume of equipment they were able to assemble. At the location of the blast, there was a strange corridor that did not previously exist. A number of agents went into the corridor, searching for any signs of SSCAN or the hostages. The agents said that it goes on for miles and only leads to more corridors. We've carried out a series of expeditions into the maze of corridors, each one further than the last, in an attempt to locate and rescue the missing hostages. Still to this day, we have not made it to the end, and the hostages are still missing. We've brought in engineers, architects, geographers, and many others to analyze the corridors. None of them have an explanation. This is the last known image of Special Agent Waters. After the incident, we discovered that SSCAN was founded and led by disgraced pseudo-academic Dr. Robert Carl. He was believed to be with the group at Waynebrook Mall. As was a man by the name of Michael Lazarin, the CEO of Lazarin Property Group, who owns Waynebrook Mall. Coincidentally, the SSCAN facility is also owned by the Lazarin Property Group.
Thanks for watching the Facade Files with Ace Hawkinson. Until next time, stay tuned right here on Channel 93.